The Galactic Council had made their decision. Albert, the human ambassador who had dared to suggest humanity deserved a seat among the stars, would face the trial of Kreshna. No species had survived it in 3 centuries. You understand the terms. Ambassador Vrel's mandibles clicked with barely concealed satisfaction. The insectoid counselor had waited months for this moment. 7 rotations on Kreshna Prime. No weapons. No technology beyond basic survival gear. If you emerge alive, humanity earns consideration for council membership. Albert stood before the assembled council, his jaw set. I understand. Katniss grabbed his arm as they left the chamber. Her gray eyes blazed with fury. This is murder, Albert. Kreshna Prime is a death world. Everything there is evolved to kill. Then I'll evolve faster. He managed a weak smile. Besides, we both know they'll never accept us unless we prove ourselves on their terms. Their terms are impossible. For them, maybe. The drop pod screamed through Kreshna's atmosphere, rattling Albert's bones. When it finally crashed into the crimson jungle, he had 30 seconds before the pod self-destructed, leaving him with nothing but the clothes on his back and a basic hydration pack. The jungle breathed around him, humid, hostile, and hungry. Within the first hour, Albert understood why no one survived. A pack of 6-legged reptilian hunters, each the size of a small car, tracked him through the undergrowth. Their thermal vision meant hiding was pointless. Their pack tactics meant running was suicide. Albert stopped running that he climbed a crystalline rock formation and waited. When the lead hunter lunged, he stepped aside, letting it crash into the stones. The creature's own momentum shattered its leg against the unforgiving surface. The pack turned on their wounded member immediately, evolutionary programming overriding pack loyalty. While they fed, Albert studied them. He noted the weak points in their armored hides, the pattern of their patrol routes, the hierarchy of their attacks. By day 3, Albert had killed his first hunter, using a trap made from vines and the planet's naturally occurring acid pools. The creature's death bought him something precious: materials. Its bones were dense, harder than steel. Its tendons, when dried, became cords of incredible strength. Its hide could turn blades. Albert's engineering background, earned in the orbital shipyards of Mars, suddenly became survival knowledge. He worked through the night, hands bleeding, shaping the predator's femur against volcanic rock. The bones sang as he honed it, a whisper of death being born light years away. Katniss stood before the council's observation screen. They'd given humanity this one mercy: the ability to watch Albert's fate unfold via the planet's monitoring satellites. He's making a weapon, she said quietly. Vrel's laugh chittered through the chamber. Primitive. Even if he survives the hunters, the Scream Wings will find him on day 5. They hunt in swarms of hundreds. Katniss didn't respond. She'd seen that look in Albert's eyes before. The same focus he'd had when he jury-rigged a solution to the station's oxygen failure that had baffled engineers for weeks. Humans, she knew, had a terrible gift. They turned adversity into advantage. On day 5, the Scream Wings came. Albert heard them first, a sound like metal tearing metal, echoing through the canopy. He prepared as best he could. His sword, now complete, hung at his side. Its edge could split hairs. Its balance was perfect. He'd etched the handle with marks for each day survived. But against 200 flying predators, each with talons like razors and beaks that could punch through armor, even a perfect sword felt inadequate. The swarm descended. Albert moved into the cave system he'd scouted, narrow passages where numbers became disadvantage. The Scream Wings funneled in, their wings tangling, their formation collapsing. In the confined space, Albert's sword became an extension of his will. He'd learned the rhythm of Kreshna's predators. They were efficient killers, but efficiency came from instinct, not adaptation. Albert adapted with every swing, every dodge, every breath. The cave floor became slick with alien blood. His arms screamed. His lungs burned. But he didn't stop. When the last Scream Wing fell, Albert emerged into the crimson sunset, his sword dripping, his body a tapestry of cuts and bruises. 5 days down. 2 to go. On day 7, the extraction pod descended. Ambassador Vrel watched the screen in disbelief. The human was alive, more than alive. He strode through the jungle like he owned it, a sort of predator bone resting on his shoulder. The creatures of Kreshna, Animals that had killed council champions from a dozen species gave him a wide berth. The pod's camera showed Albert's face as he climbed aboard. He wasn't smiling in triumph. His expression was something far more unsettling, calm acceptance, as if he'd simply completed a necessary task. When Albert returned to the council chamber, he said nothing. He simply walked to the center of the floor and drove his bone sword into the ground. It stood there, still stained with the proof of his survival. Katniss met him at the chamber's entrance. She didn't speak, just gripped his hand. The council votes to grant humanity probationary status, Vrel announced, his voice stripped of its earlier smugness. But tell me, human, how did you survive what killed so many others? Albert looked at the assembled aliens, these species who had conquered stars but forgotten what it meant to climb from the bottom. You sent me to a death world, he said quietly. But Ambassador, Earth is a death world. We didn't conquer it, we evolved with it. Every predator on Kreshna had millions of years to perfect their kill. Humans? We spent millions of years learning to survive everything that wanted us dead. He pulled his sword from the floor. You dropped me weaponless on a warworld. I didn't bring back a sword made of predator bones because I'm special. His eyes swept the council. I brought it back because that's what humans do. We adapt. We survive. We turn our enemies into tools. Albert walked toward the exit, Katniss at his side. At the threshold, he paused. The real question, Ambassador Vrel, isn't whether humanity deserves a seat on your council. It's whether your council is ready for what humanity will bring to the galaxy. The sword hung at his side, not a trophy, but a promise. Behind them, the council chambers erupted in argument. But Albert and Katniss kept walking. They had a message to send home. Humanity had passed the test. Now the real work began.